Hi, Room 6 friends. Welcome to our first Thinking About Math Thursday. You know that I love teaching math. It's probably my favorite part of the day, aside from read aloud, which I adore. And we'll be doing lots of read alouds on this YouTube page too, but today is all about math. Today, I will be reviewing what we've learned so far in our fractions unit. As a reminder, a fraction is a part of a whole. When we talk about a whole, we talk about something that has all of its parts. And when we talk about fractions, we talk about how that whole is divided up into equal parts. Today, I'll be reviewing what we've learned so far in our fractions unit. We've learned how to read and write fractions, how to break apart a whole into parts, and we've talked about reading fractional units and writing what we call unit fractions. And then finally, we will review comparing fractions. So let's get started. I have here a fraction strip. I drew it on a whiteboard. You can do it on paper and pencil, easy enough. This is a whole. A whole is something that has all of its parts. So what if we wanted to divide this whole into equal parts? Let's start by dividing it into two equal parts. To divide a whole into two equal parts, you just draw one line down the middle. Now, each equal part has a name. When we divide into two equal parts, we call each equal part a half. There are two halves in one whole. What if we wanted to divide this whole into four equal parts? I will add two more lines to show four equal parts. When we divide a whole into four equal parts, we call each equal part a fourth. There are 4 fourths in one whole. Next, I'm going to keep up the fourths so that we can review unit fractions. A unit fraction describes one equal part of the whole. So if we were to write the unit fraction for the fraction strip that you see here, we would say that there are 4 units in this whole. Each unit has a unit fraction. We call that unit fraction 1/4. And that shows one part of the whole equals 1/4. Good morning. Ash can edit it out. So next, let's draw another fraction strip. But this time I'm going to break apart that whole into 8 equal parts. I start by breaking it up into 2 equal parts, 4 equal parts, then each fourth I can break up in half because 4 times 2 equals 8. And that shows my 8 equal parts. Each equal part is called an eighth. There are 8 eighths in one whole. If we were to write the unit fraction for this fraction strip, we would say that each fractional unit is called 1/8. Finally, we're going to work on comparing fractions. Remember how we talked about how fractions are part of a whole? Well, the more parts you have, the smaller that they become. Take a look. When we broke this whole up into 4 equal parts, we were able to fit 4 equal parts in with plenty of space. But now we needed to break it up into 8 equal parts. That's double what we needed to do up in the top fraction strip. That means now that each equal part is going to be smaller so that we can fit 8 instead of 4. So when we compare fractions, we're looking to see what is greater than and what is less than between the two unit fractions. If we were to compare 1/4 to 1/8, we would look and see that 1/4 is greater than 1/8. Let's shade it in to get a better look. You can see that 1/4 is greater than 1/8, and we write it like this. 1/4 is greater than 1/8. All right, let's do another one. Let me challenge you. Let's do a harder one. What if now we wanted to compare 1/6 to 1/12? Let's do our two fraction strips. Let's break apart the top into sixths. I'll break it in half. Each half I'm going to break up into thirds because 2 times 3 equals 6. Now I'm going to label it with the unit fraction. Remember, we broke this up into 6 equal parts. Each equal part is called a sixth. That means that the fractional unit or the unit fraction is 1/6. Now we're going to break apart the bottom fraction strip into 12 equal parts. I'm going to go ahead and start with my half again. Each half I'm going to break up into another half to make fourths. And because 4 times 3 equals 12, I can break apart each fourth into 3 equal parts. And that will give me 12 equal parts. 12 equal parts means that each equal part is called a 12th. If we were to write the fractional unit, the unit fraction of each equal part, we would say that it is 1/12 all the way across. So let's compare these fractions. We want to decide, is 1/6 greater than or less than 1/12? Take a look. We can see that 1/6 is greater than 1/12. We would write it as 1/6 is greater than 1/12. All right, so that's the end of our review video. I have 2 assignments for you after watching today's video. First, in the comment section, I want you to write your own comparison sentence by using vocabulary like greater than or less than. Remember that when you're typing a fraction on the computer, it's not going to look like this. That line that separates the numerator, the top number, from the denominator, that's the bottom number, needs to be written differently on the keyboard. So find the key on your keyboard that has a question mark on the top and has a / on the bottom. You don't need to press the shift button. That would be if you wanted to access the question mark, but we only want that /. So if you were to write 1/4 on the keyboard, you would type a 1 / and a 4. Your fractions will look like this in the comments section. Check out the comments for my own example. The second thing I'd like you to do is take the Kahoot quiz that's linked below. There will be 5 questions. They are true or false, and they're all comparison questions. Remember, I'm available to help you in any way that you might need, so let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow for a fun Friday. Okay, air high five.